5 years together as teammates now. What were your guys' impressions of each other initially meeting, or how's it gone over the years?
You know, early on we probably got in our battles and had our opinions of each other, but we've come a long way, and you know, we're super tight now, and you know, he's been a lot of help to me in my development.
That's the nice way of saying it.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, you guys were looking at each other laughing.
No,
and I'm
no,
like,
no.
what's gonna happen here? Oh boy.
Listen, I'm coming from playoff teams, and you know, been through a lot myself, and was humbled a lot at an early age. And then I get here to a team with a bunch of spoons running around, and pretty boy from college here. We butted heads all the time, but it was just for, you know, I want the best for him.
You know, we communicate about things, and you know, we've been good friends off the ice, and I think that's really helped with us on the ice.
Yeah, that's always kind of there on teams, though, right?
100%. I think the off-ice stuff is huge. Like, I think when your teammates can get together, and then you have those friction moments in the game, you don't take it as personal. We've had our moments, but at the same time, they go like, it's like fighting with your brother at the house. Like, you're pissed off at each other, but then it goes away, right? So it's been good, and I think that that's kind of helped the whole team. And we all kind of expect that out of each other now, and to see how far, you know, guys like Petey and Quinn and him have come because they were so young when I got here is amazing.
Passes back to Hughes. Here's Miller. Shooting, tipped in by Boeser. And the Canucks beat the Bruins 3-2 in overtime.
Who are some guys you learned from? Like, what are some guys that jump out to you in your first few years? Tampa, New York.
Yeah, that's the, you know, in New York, that's the difference. I mean, when he came into the league here, this wasn't a playoff team. No. You know, they're kind of rebuilding. I wasn't sure. And I'm jumping in after as a 19, 20-year-old on like a President's Trophy final team, like trying to make it in the lineup. But I had guys like, you know, Ryan McDonough and Dan Girardi and Mark Stahl, and I played with Marty St. Louis and Dan Boyle, Brad Richards, Rick Nash, Marion Gabbert. I mean, these guys were, you know, Hall of Fame style players, but also unbelievable leaders in the way they played the game.
Would you like to see him in that scenario as a young guy with all those guys?
I would love it. I'd do anything to see it.
Did you say anything?
What they don't understand is it's me telling them things that I learned how to not do, and I don't want them to do it. I've been through it, you know. Trust me, I've come a long way as well from my little punky self at 19, 20.
Pass ahead, Boeser feeds through, Miller in on goal, he scores! J.T. Miller on the setup from Brock Boeser.
Last year, it's like so far in the rearview mirror, I feel, and trade rumors, and like I think both you guys were
every year.
Every year, yeah. What's that like, trying to play with that, or kicking around all the time?
I definitely had a tough time with it last season, of you know, not knowing if you're going to get that phone call saying you're traded or not. But you know, I'm very thankful that I'm still here. I love the city, and you know, the fans, everything. They've given me a lot, and you know, I hope I can continue to play with these guys.
Changing topics to a tougher topic, passing of your father. Obviously, it's something tough to deal with personally. Never mind having to try to play hockey. How did you cope with that? Did you have to lean on your teammates a ton?
It's something you really can't describe until it happens to you, I think. You know, I think the year before I was just so, you know, I was away, and I knew my dad was on the downswing. And I get home and he passes away, and then I didn't really know like how I would cope with it. And I think the biggest thing was like, I kind of kept thinking about, you know, his passing, and like I really felt like I didn't spend enough time kind of in those final months with him. So I kind of held hockey over that in a way. So it was tough. I think that's when I started to realize I needed to get some help. And you know, I've had some heart-to-hearts with Millsy and you know, some other teammates, but I started working with someone away from the rink. I think that's kind of been the biggest help. And you know, I think, you know, that's why I feel so much better as, you know, just a hockey player this year. I feel like motivated and driven compared to last year where I was struggling with that.
Yeah, how do you help a guy through that?
Just doing what we can to spend time together and treat each other like family. And I'm a very family-oriented person, other than me having kids of my own. My dad and mom and I are still insanely close, and my brother, and I keep a very small circle. And you know, Brock and I have been really good friends over the last few years, and I think, you know, him going through his personal stuff maybe have brought him and I even closer together. But you know, hockey is just a game and a job at the end of the day, and it's about family first. And see how far he's come in a situation like that is, you know, I look up to that. So it's been incredible.
Yeah. Do you feel closer to this team now, going through that with the guys that were here, or the guys that, you know, like JT that helped you through
Yeah,
something
for sure.
like that?
For sure, and I think that's kind of what I mean when I say, like, you know, I'm super close to these guys. Like, even when I was in those trade rumors, like, I always pictured, like, if I actually got traded, like, it wouldn't feel like home. And, you know, it feels like home here with these guys. And, you know, we've been through so much together. And, you know, on the negative side of things, that you know, we wanted to turn it around, and, you know, we have so far, and it's been a blast.
Hughes fires one down to Miller, puts it in front, tipped in!
The Brock star comes to life for the Canucks.
What changed from last year to this year? What's the biggest difference?
There's a handful of things, and one is obviously our staff. Like, we have Rick Tocchet and Sergei Gonchar and Adam Foote and Mike Yeo, and the Sedins are around, and it's just insane, the guys that you grew up watching.
Pretty heavy hitter list.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like we're just spoiled.
Are you aware of Talk's playing ability? You're a pretty young guy.
No,
You don't know much about, like, didn't see him play really at all?
not really, no.
You know of him, right? Like, you know how he played.
Yeah.
Like, he's just,
I wouldn't say player comp.
yeah, no. I'd say maybe, like, mix you guys together and then give them, like, bath salts.
Besser down low, scores! JT Miller!
There's two guys who know how to read each other in Boeser and Miller.
Brock, how do you get under his skin? Knowing him as well as you do now after all these
impossible.
years. How do you get him going?
Honestly, it's tough to get him going, but if you turn the puck over on the ice, that will get him going.
Yeah, but we don't do it.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. That's why I just dump it in now when I play with him, because, you know, if you turn it over and, you know, if Millsy goes silent, and then, you know, he might be a little mad at you.
Into the slot, Miller, near side, Boeser, scores! Brock Boeser! Miller, Lindholm, across, Boeser scores! His second of the game, Miller shoots, tipped on goal, rebound, Boeser scores! A hat-trick, Brock Boeser!
I think we finally have, like, a level of confidence that we didn't have. Our best players are young still. It's amazing. Like, they're not even into their primes yet, and that's scary.